In my time on YouTube, I've come to discover that a lot of people have depression, particularly here on YouTube, various levels. And in my life, I've suffered from depression at various times, on and off to varying degrees. Um, I wanted to make a video about this a while back, and sometimes it's hard, but Kazum did this video recently, and he said that he was having trouble coming up with what to say. And for me, it's never a problem with coming up with what to say. It's just that sometimes the depression demotivates me. I'll get all revved up to do something, and then something will happen, or just out of nowhere, and I just won't have the desire to really do it, which is unfortunate. I still got hundreds of ideas in my head. So usually people have more want to get me to shut up because I talk too much. But I wonder sometimes, since it seems that depression among YouTubers seems to be more prevalent than the rest of society, and I do wonder if a lot of us come here for a kind of therapy, because even though it's could be scary for some to get on camera, that there's still a separation. At least if we want to be separated, we don't have to get in with people and mix. And for those of you who have met me in person, you know that I can be very jovial and outgoing to a point, but there comes a time when it gets difficult, and being on camera can be difficult too. The thing that I'm wondering, of late, I've been so unusually depressed for an unusually long time. And the election is a big part of it, but it's not just the election, and it's just more of what it says about our society. And not just the people who voted for Trump, but even the people who on my side of the political fence, and how we're reacting and responding to this, has got me down. And my usual optimism is at an all-time low, and I feel a lot of times that I'm increasingly, as I get older, living in a world that I don't fit in. And the thing I was gonna do originally was going to try to talk to people about how I deal with getting out of my depressed modes, and because I find that as much as you can't control when it comes on. Sometimes it can be environmental, but a lot of times it just comes out of nowhere. But that I found for myself in the past, that usually having something to look forward to, even if it wasn't even if it was just something menial or trivial, like something at work, and having a project to work on, something to take my focus off of whatever, the being down. It's difficult, but that's how I usually dealt with it, and it usually was reasonably successful. I know not everybody's in that situation. Some people who have severe depression, that they have to be medicated, and there's really no other way around it. And I've avoided that because talking to people who do take medication, a lot of them, the medication causes them a lot of problems as well. So they cycle between taking their meds and not, which creates additional problems in and of itself. So, and I'm finding though of late that my usual ways to dig myself out just are not working. And so I'm curious, those of you who are watching or in the audience, or even other people in our group, if you suffer from any kind of depression, whether it's acute or chronic or whatever, how do you deal with it? What do you do to try to dig yourself out? Because, like I said, in the past, I found that you know even though it was hard, if I tried to get myself back and engaged in things, that eventually it would I could pull myself out, and more quickly than if I just tried to ride it out. But like I said, the usual stuff just isn't cutting it, and so I want to try something else. And if you got an idea, I'm happy to listen, because these last few months have been rough, and it just seems that they're going to be rougher. So I don't even have my usual optimism to lean back on. That's usually one of the things that it helps me, and it's completely gone. So sorry to bring everybody down this week. I'll look to see what you have in the comments, or if you're on this group, you want to make a response, I'd be happy to hear it. Hope everybody else is having a better time than I am. Thanks.